All right, y'all. So I saw this particular story a couple days ago. Couldn't get around to talking about it, but yeah, I got time right now to talk about this. Right. So back on July the 26th, a opinion piece was written on the Muddy River News. Right on that website, the Muddy River News. An opinion piece was written by uh, Brenda Butterfield. Now, Brenda Butterfield is the mama of the deputy that hired Sean Grayson. Brenda Butterfield is the grandmother to Sean Grayson's fiance. And in this opinion piece that she wrote, she says this. She says, first to the protesters, why are you protesting? Sean is in jail, charges are filed, trial date to be set, and punishment to be applied. Sean is not going anywhere, so please knock off wearing your sweat glands. First of all, who the hell are you to tell us what we should do with our time and effort? We have rights just like you. So who the hell are you to tell us that we shouldn't protest and we shouldn't voice our displeasure for what your grandson did, your future grandson-in-law? He decided to shoot that woman and murder her. So yeah, you sit your old ass down somewhere, granny, telling people to take their signs and go home. No, you sit your ass down in that rocking chair. Then she goes, point number two. Shout out to the homie CB Sports TV in the building. What's good with your homie? And my brother Ted. Does anyone care about Sean's family or what horrifying reality they're dealing with? No. Why should we care? Obviously, your future grandson-in-law didn't care about Sonia Massey's family when he pulled his gun out and pulled the trigger. So, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. What about his fiancée? He was supposed to marry in October. What about her fiancée? It's Sean Grayson's fault that he's not marrying her in October. What's up, Intelligent Psycho? Salute to you. What about it? What about Sean Grayson's fiance? Sean Grayson didn't care about his fiance when he pulled the trigger and killed Sonia Massey. The fuck you talking about? You clap having Jezebel? She's an innocent young woman who is also being persecuted. Does anyone care about the destruction of her life? No. She is left to deal with an emotional debt. Well, that's the price she paid for dealing with a motherfucking murderer. So, the fuck we supposed to do? We supposed to be sympathetic to her because her little boo thing decided to go out there and commit murder? Right? Make it make sense. Sean's future in-law families. A father-to-be in-law who is as close to Sean as a father can be. A future mother-in-law, sister-in-law, brother-in-law who is Sean's friend. Future grandparents who love Sean clearly and dearly and still do. Shock, disbelief, and reality, but an underlying support for Sean. The past cannot be relived. The future is unknown. We only have each day to pray without ceasing. The Sean everyone's desires to hate and persecute is not the Sean that we have all known and loved. Well, guess what? We don't care how you know him. We don't care how long you know him. We don't care how much you love him. The fact of the matter is the man is a goddamn stone cold blooded killer. There's just some things you can't wash off with Tide, woman. We will always support Sean. So you will always support a murderer. Because clearly, Brenda Butterfield, you're not concerned about the health and well-being and the family of Sonia Massey. Because see, they got to live with the fact that a mother, right? Because she had a daughter, right? Daughter's not going to grow up to know their mom or her mama. There's family members that will never ever see Sonia Massey again. Have you taken their feelings into account? Have you taken their well-being into account? The fact that you would take out an opinion piece at a news publication to put out this shit. Boy, I tell you, the goddamn audacity. Then you want to sit up here and quote Bible verses. Judge not, lest ye be judged. So clearly, your future grandson-in-law didn't read the Bible or didn't apply one of the 10 commandments. Thou shalt not kill. Because see, if you're going to sit up here and cherry pick quotes out the Bible to try to drive home a narrative, we can do that too. No man, no woman is without sin. There's the final judgment for all. Proud grandmother to be of Sean Grayson. So you're proud that you associated yourself with a stone cold killer, right? That's what you're trying to say? See, if there's one thing we always say about these white supremacists, they always like to take both sides of the argument. So this man had no compassion. This man had no empathy for Sonia Massey. That's why he pulled his trigger. He pulled his gun out and pulled the trigger and murdered that woman. And yet, there's outrage behind that. There's protest behind that. But yet, the grandmama, Barbara Butterfield, is going to take out an op-ed in the newspaper and wants us to feel sympathy for her family and the emotional trauma that she's going through. Bitch, kick fucking rocks. Now, I'm one of many people that will gladly tell you that you can fuck all the way off. That's right. I mean that. I mean that with every fiber of my being. You funky ass white supremacists. You can go fuck all the way off. Because not one time, Sean Grayson, and you know what? He at this point he don't gotta apologize because at this point the apology don't mean nothing. The apology ain't gonna bring back Sonia Massey, okay? It ain't gonna bring her back. But the fact that this woman, is gonna sit up here and gaslight this thing even more. So please take your signs and go home and just be humans. Well, obviously, your grandson-in-law, your future grandson-in-law, don't know what it's like to be a human. He's an animal that deserves to be locked in a cage. Now, Sean Grayson and his fiancee, Isabel Butterfield, like I said, she's the granddaughter to Brenda Butterfield, who wrote this article, they're set to get married on October the 19th. So how's this wedding going to go down, Granny? Huh? Because he's going to be in prison until the trial. And then even during the trial, he's going to be in prison. So how is this wedding going to go down? They're going to have a wedding via Zoom? Is he going to get a conjugal visit? Have you thought that through, Granny? But yet you sitting up here getting mad at the people who are outraged because black folks continue to get murdered at the hands of police. You got black folks continue to get put in prison doing football numbers over crimes they didn't commit. And yet your ass want to sit up here and expect people to be sympathetic and empathetic for what you got going on. Fuck you. Fuck you and your family. What's up, y'all? Jeff Sparks, David Joseph, salute to y'all. Bulls fan 25, my paramedic brother in the building, right? Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Man, look, I couldn't be any more outraged when I saw this article. It was already bad enough that this man murdered this woman in cold blood, her own fucking house. But for this woman to take out this article in this publication and just gaslight the situation even more, boy, I tell you, boy, that is some audacity right there. That is some motherfucking audacity for your ass right there, bro. You can't make this stuff up. So why should we care? Why should we care? Does anyone care but Sean's family or what horrifying reality they have to deal with? No. Why should we? He decided to pull the trigger. So why don't you ask him? Obviously, he didn't take anyone else's life into account. Why don't you ask him that? But I know why. I know why. You know why? Well, since you don't know why, I'm going to give you the game on why that is. Because Sean Grayson thought that he had the complexion for the protection. That's why. He thought since he had the skin color that he can do whatever, whenever, however, and there was going to be no repercussions. That's why he took the actions he took on that infamous night. He thought just because your son, right? Your son was the Brenda Butterfield. Your son was the reason why Sean Grayson even got hired in the first place. That's right. Your son did this. Because see, the man's already been, bouncing around different police departments. Dude worked for 6 different police departments in 4 years. And they knew about his history, right? They knew about the DUIs, they knew about all that shit, and they still brought him on. Hmm? So make that make sense. Your son was the reason why Sean Grayson got a job in the first place. But yet you want to sit up here and take out articles, and yet we supposed to feel sympathetic for your family. Mm-mm-mm. The audacity, the gaslighting, the I mean, Lord have mercy. You can't make this stuff up, man. You really can't. Now, I'm going to read this article from ABC7 Chicago. The Illinois deputy who fatally shot Sonia Massey in her home while responding to her 911 call was discharged from the Army for misconduct, according to court documents. Sean Grayson, the former Sangamon County Sheriff's deputy, was discharged on February 24, 2016, after beginning service in the Army on May the 5th, 2014. Dude couldn't even make it through his first term in the Army. He served for a total of 1 year, 9 months, and 19 days. And that's according to his discharge papers. Dude couldn't even make it through a full term in the Army without getting discharged. Lord have mercy. And of course, with the Privacy Act, the Army is not going to provide any more details behind that. Had no deployments, and he was a PFC. He was charged with 2 DUI offenses in the Macoupin County in August 2015 and July 2016. He pleaded guilty to both charges, paid over $1,300 in fines, had his vehicle impounded as a result of the 2015 incident. In 2016, he paid over $2,400 in fines, according to court records. He was hired for his first known police job at the Pawnee Police Department in August 2020 and was fired from his most recent job as a sheriff's deputy at the Sangamon County Sheriff's Department after the July 6th deadly shooting of Sonia Massey. And a mother of 2. So Sonia Massey's kids is not going to know. Well, they probably might have an idea who their mama is or whatever like that, but they're not going to grow up with their mama now. No thanks to this man. And you want to sit up here and talk about we should be sympathetic for your family? Woo! Woo! Lord have mercy. What's up, 2 Raw? Huh. Lord have mercy. If that ain't some shit. If that ain't some shit right there. Before I get too mad and really go off the handle, I'm going to go ahead and end this stream right here, man, because I swear, you can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. Why should we give a damn about your family, Brenda Butterfield? Why? All these questions and all this fake outrage you have towards us, you should be pointing it at your future grandson-in-law. Since you support him so much, why don't you throw all those questions at him? You should ask him why did he decide to pull his gun out and pull the trigger that night. You should ask him, did he consider the family of Sonia Massey? All these questions and all this fake outrage you had towards us, you need to ask him that. And you go sit your old ass down somewhere. Just the same woman, right? Well, you know what? I'm not gonna speculate who she is or whatever like that because I don't know the Bama for from a can of paint. I don't know the Bama from a jar of helmets. But what I do know is that article she took out in that goddamn publication was disgusting. It was disrespectful. It was dishonorable, and it was distasteful. That's what I do know. If you're not a subscriber to this channel, make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and share these videos on your social media platforms. Shouts out to the LDBC. This your man. Scream at me. Ho!